Hey everybody, it's Chris Barron, 2-minute piano lessons with Chris Barron. I just uploaded a 2-minute drill to one of my students and I thought, hey, I think everybody should benefit from this. So here it goes. Today I want to talk about practicing to solve problems. Now, this to me is a redundant statement, practicing to solve problems. So let's define practicing first of all. Practicing equals repeating. However, this is where we get a little messed up here. A lot of times we will repeat so that we can then know it. That's not practicing, that's learning. So let me put that down here. To know. Learning equals to know. But we have not practiced yet if we don't know. Then we begin to practice what we know. It's an odd concept, but I need to get that into your head. Something that you already know, then you repeat it. Now, by doing that, what you're doing is you're driving it deeper and deeper and deeper into your brain. Right there. Through these guys right there, and in these guys right here. These guys, this thing, and these two guys right here. That is what you're training by repeating what you already know. So let's get to our piece of music, shall we? What we're looking at here is a version of Elise that I'm teaching. And I will simplify things in order to get a good performance with my students. That's neither here nor there. What we're talking about is solving a very common problem or mistake that I see among students playing Elise. Most of the issue is timing. Timing. They know their notes, but they don't understand the phrasing or the timing of the piece. So this particular issue is this. Playing on one, 2, and. It's on the and of 2, this E right here. There's a C here, and this happens on the and of 2 to pick up to this, which we've already played at the beginning of the piece. Right? Okay, so let's solve this problem. We know that's a 1, and that's on the and of 2. Now, whether you understand what I just said doesn't matter, because we're going to loop it so that your body and your ears and your hands work together to know it. You'll hear it enough and run it enough. So let's do this. Let's make a loop. 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And make sure that I'm playing that thumb on the and of 2. 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3. And. Got it? So if I were to draw a picture of the problem, I'm going to put a little circle right there. Okay, and that's going to be my C and my E. And if I can successfully play 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and we've got it. Now let's pretend that we can play. I'm going to go back to beginning. Let's just say that's the beginning, and then up until the problem where I had a problem. And then this is continuing on to the end of the phrase. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this a little bit. So I'm going to expand the circle a little bit like that and create a larger loop just to make sure that I know it. So I'm going to go from this A, which is bum, 1, 2, and 3, and 1. Did you hear how that part that I fixed is in there? 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. So we've created this loop. This you can practice for 2 minutes. If you know it, if you can already play it, then play it for 2 minutes. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1 for 2 minutes. If you can do that for 2 minutes, 2 minutes is not a huge chunk of your life, right? But in 2 minutes, you will have solved that issue playing that part of the phrase right there, right? So now let's do some finishing work. Let's really test ourselves. And let's say we're going to go from the beginning to the end of our loop. So we're going to play from the beginning through what we've already mastered to there. And that's our next practice sequence. Now that's our new loop. So let's do that. Okay, so here it is. I still got highlighted our first loop. But what we're going to do is we're going to play the beginning to the end of the loop. And that's going to be our loop. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, 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 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1. So now we're teaching ourselves the difference between the very beginning, which is just 3 and 1, and the new one, which is and 3 and 1, and where and comes before 3. If you can loop that successfully, and I say for 2 minutes, just concentrate for 2 minutes. If you can do that, you're going to master it. You will have no issue. So then what's the next step? The next step is you're going to take the beginning of the loop that you now know you can play, and you're going to go from here to the end. You see how I'm overlapping the problem? The problem is probably going to end up being the part that you know the best because you're really zeroing in on it. And you're taking it at 2 different angles, right? And you can see how we're filling in. So now here's number 3 right there. We're going to take it from the beginning of our loop and all the way to the end of our phrase. I will play the entire piece as intended with the right hand. So now we go 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and continue. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 1 and 2, and breathe. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1. I'm keeping it in time. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Last time. Now, effectively, I've proven to myself, and let's say I did that for 2 minutes straight. Now I've mastered my problem. Let me get rid of this here. So now I've mastered my problem. Then I mastered playing from the beginning through the problem, which is no longer a problem. Then I mastered the beginning of my problem, which is no longer a problem, all the way to the end. So if I can do this and this, then what can I do? I can do from here all the way to here. That should fix the problem, okay? Fix the main problem, which is getting from here to there without any problems, okay? That is my philosophy. It is not my idea. This is practicing 101. These are the methods of old. Many times, it is not the playing and the performing that we have a problem with when we take from a teacher in a piano lesson. It's how do we get better on our own? Well, these are strategies that you can use on your own to get better so that when you show up to your next piano lesson, you don't have the same issues you did the week before. So I hope this helps you. This has been another practice tip from 2 Minute Piano Lessons with Chris Barron. Have a good one.